All right. So, Zeke, so he disappeared for some amount of time from your life, and then shortly after rejoining the military, he was back?
Yes.
Whereabouts did this start occurring?
The in the first town we had slept in, so I don't recall what our first mission was.
Well, your first mission was to Boelwold, but after that I had sent you to Luke Hill.
Yeah, so that's when it would have started.
Zeke, I don't know what to do here. These things are over, right? Nothing more is trying to get into your head.
Um, I mean, this guy had a very specific feel. Most recently, when we went into the mountains, that thing that we fought there, the Kashram's Minion or whatever it is, like that did also try and get into our heads.
But you can assure me that otherwise, this is not a list of people you intend to kill.
No, I was simply looking for this one man, and these were all the potential people who might have mind affecting magic that I needed to look into, that I ran across throughout our work.
I need you to understand something very important, Zeke. I think you're very fortunate today, and I think that Maldronicus made the choice that has significantly reduced the odds that you are either put to the sword or banished to the labyrinth. You did disobey Maldronicus's order, and for that, we would see you banished to the labyrinth. But it is not our decision here. He has left it up to the city of Chrysaisen in order for us to make amends. I would rather not see one of ours end up in prison, because should that happen, we look bad to the city of Chrysaisen. I believe that what you say is true, that you had every reason to want this man dead. But should we continue to work together, you are to understand that you are not some lone mercenary roaming around making the decision between who lives and who dies.
I understand.
And that you are to listen and do what your commanding officer tells you, unless you have probable cause to disobey him. For example, he is putting you at risk, or he is putting the lives of innocent civilians at risk. And you will need to substantially prove so before a tribunal. I am very worried, though. You've made it difficult for some to believe you, and you travel along with people that are sometimes very difficult to believe themselves. The person that I think they would trust the most doesn't have great faith in you. The others, well, I wish they would trust Mel, but I have a feeling the lawyer will do a number on that, making sure he seems uncredible. And I won't be calling Aravos or Cassius to the stand. I think Aravos is too close to Arachlis in this, and I think that you've, unfortunately and indirectly, made Arachlis quite pissed at you. I'd even bargain to say that since they found these books in Arachlis' possession, or at least that's my assumption, since somehow they got out of here, you don't have them, they've recovered them, there aren't a lot of places you all would hide things except on your person. And Mal mentioned something about entrusting them to somebody. I'm taking you off of any case. I'm going to have to take your group off of anything regarding Kazarim. I'll have to assign another unit to work Kazarim. I'll have to assign another unit to work Lukil. Word travels fast, and if anyone in Lukil knows about this, and Kminster as well. I'll just put you all out further. You're strong enough now, you should be able to get past the mountains and deal with some of the bigger issues we have to the west. I'm going to do whatever I can to keep you, Zeke. Not just because I think it's beneficial to not have you get convicted, but also because the team will likely need you. But a lot of this is going to depend on what is said, who says it, and who makes the final determination.
Are we going to do like a mock trial so that I know what to expect? Because I'm not the best with words.
The unfortunate part here is this is the most I can do. You'll have to come up with what it is on the spot, as we don't have a lot of time, but we can... And the question of coaching gets kind of sketchy in Krizeisen. They want you to be sloppy with your words. But I will ask you, do you think I need to ask you the question that I would ask you? And I need this question to be right, because this could hinge a lot of things on it. Do you rightfully believe that killing the Grand Inquisitor was the best thing, not just for yourself, but for the lives of other people?
Yes, like, there's no doubt that this was a horribly evil person who has done horribly evil things to many, many people.
I think we know what we need then. We'll see how this plays out. Thank you, Zeke. Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks.
All right. So, oh, the cat is freaking me out. The cat is like actively attacking an electrical outlet. All right, I think we're okay. Only two of you will be called to trial. That will be Maldronicus and Rakata. The rest of you are allowed to sit for trial. You are not allowed to watch until you have given your testimony. But Zeke, you are the first brought to the stand. The prosecution brings you forward. Actually, it's really not the prosecution. You are brought forth to tell your story first. But the prosecution speaks to you first. Now, Mr. Leopold, am I to understand that you are responsible, you are potentially responsible, no, that you are responsible for the death of the Grand Inquisitor?
Yes.
And that you did so of your own opinion?
Yes.
Do you believe he deserved to die?
Yeah.
Do you keep record of people that you distrust?
I like. Could I get that clarified? Like,
Exhibit A. A list of people that you're keeping track of. Is this, Mr. Leopold, a list of people that you do not trust?
yeah, those were people I was researching.
And Mr. Leopold, on this list, how many of the people are presently deceased?
Well, there's the list of deceased on there.
Mr. Leopold, please answer the question.
2?
Thank you. Now, as we can tell from the list, Mr. Leopold, there are 12 names, is that correct? And he points through the 12 names.
Yes, 12 names, and, well, 13 total.
Okay.
Because the... I don't know if they want me to go on.
Go on.
Yeah, because the dead spellcaster list is separate.
Well, in line
the
number...
name on,
According to line number 8, you specifically say the spellcaster I am hunting. Is 8 not the Grand Inquisitor, or are you hunting someone else?
I didn't know who it was at the time. I later found out that it was the Grand Inquisitor. Yes.
So that is where you get the number 13, not 14, then.
Yeah, because also the tattooed sorcerer from the Dark Militia is unnumbered.
Very good. Now, Zeke, you joined the military not too long ago, is that correct?
Correct.
And...
It's been, what, like a year?
Yeah. A little less than that, but pretty close to it. And when you... Can you please tell the court why it is that you joined the military?
I was conscripted into the military when the town I was working for couldn't pay up.
So you were given as tribute for the town's debt.
Yeah.
Were you aware at the time that you were already the property of someone else?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I'd like to present Exhibit D, the document that is the accord of the spell cast in the resurrection of Mr. Zeke Leopold. It is a document wherein Mr. Leopold agrees to his resurrection posthumously under the stipulation that he will work off his debt in the services of one spellcaster whose name can no longer legally be named, but heretofore is referred to as the Grand Inquisitor. You were not aware of this document, Mr. Leopold?
No, I was not.
Do you have a history of memory problems or other mental ailments?
Trauma from the Grand Inquisitor.
And as a result of this alleged trauma caused by the Grand Inquisitor, would you say that it has made you a bit less rash, a bit less rational, and a bit more aggressive. That sometimes you fly into fits of rage.
So out of character, like, do I know about my controlled rage power that I use? Like, do I know it's controlled? Like, I don't understand what
No,
I would know
you
in
can
game.
no you would know that it's controlled.
Okay. No, I have developed a controlled rage where I become stronger, but I like other people who have similar fighting styles may be uncontrolled, but I am not uncontrolled.
So let the record show that Mr. Leopold has stated that he was of what he believes to be sound mind at the time the Grand Inquisitor was put to death. Now, Mr. Leopold, did anyone advise you not to kill the Grand Inquisitor?
Yes, Maldronicus said not to, but I couldn't know whether he was being mind controlled or not at the time.
So you took it on your own mental facilities, which you've just a moment ago claimed might be a bit traumatized by past actions, but which you've then doubled back on and said that they are not flawed mental facilities, to say that you made the right decision.
Yeah, this man had done horrible things, and I didn't know whether he was controlling the party or not. I couldn't tell you. Like, he had to be dealt with.
And was he conscious at the time that you made this decision?
I don't know. I don't have the skills of a healer.
So is it a normal thing for you to assume that people that are laying on the ground with their eyes closed are still conscious?
Yes, when they are extremely deceptive people like this, that is definitely something that I would think that he would have the ability to do, especially if he was controlling another party member, trying to trick everybody. Like, that's this man's everything he's ever done. That is absolutely something he would do.
No further questions. Tenelli stands up. Zeke, you have done... Is it true that you have done a number of beneficial deeds for this country?
Yes.
You were a victim of, many years ago, the Grand Inquisitor, or at least what he was then's terrible actions. Is that true?
Yes.
How did you sleep for a long time after these actions?
Not very well. Constant nightmares, upsetting dreams.
Upon once more hearing his voice, how did that make you feel?
Horrified. I'd hoped it was over.
Do you, to this day, feel truly like it is over?
Well, I mean, it's being brought up all again right now, so I guess not.
Do you believe that you took the right action by taking down the threat that was to you the Grand Inquisitor.
Absolutely, this was a heinously evil man who has done so many horrible things.
No further questions, Your Honor. The prosecution would like to call Rakata to the stand. Rakata, please inform the court whom you work for and work with.
I work for the Crimson Council. I have been lent out as a emissary envoy to the military. I work underneath Maldronicus's command with their party.
Now, Rakata, you're on this list that Zeke has. And why do you believe that is?
The only thing I know about Zeke and this possible list was that he was concerned with spellcasters. The first time I met him, he seemed rather interested in what kind of magic I could cast, and I do remember him writing in something at the time.
Did he seem obsessive about those details?
Slightly.
Do you trust Zeke Leopold?
I trust Maldronicus to keep the group in order.
And is that what Mr. Ironhand did that day? Was keep the group in order?
He attempted to the best of his ability.
And what was included in to the best of his ability?
Knocking a fellow out, one of us out when we were disobeying orders.
Do you think Maldronicus took the right action in attempting to knock out Mr. Leopold?
I do. He was disobeying a direct order and taking someone's life into his own hands. That should have been, at the very least, a group decision with the commanding officer's ultimate okay.
Do you believe that Mr. Leopold wrongfully brought the end of the life of brought to the end the life of the Grand Inquisitor?
Yes.
No further questions. Tinelli steps up. Rakata, you have worked beside Zeke for some time now. Has Zeke shown himself to be working in the interests of the country or in the interests of himself?
Our missions seem to be in the interest of the country. Some of the personal things I've heard him said could be questionable on his intentions of whether they're for himself or for the better of the command of the country.
You see Tinelli turn his head away, and you hear him mutter something under his breath. And then he turns back. No further questions. And he goes and takes a seat. The prosecution would like to call they confer with each other. The prosecution will rest. You still have witnesses on the docket. We withdraw that witness testimony. The defense would like to call Maldronicus Ironhand to the stand.
Go up and sit down.
Tinelli will head up to you. Maldronicus, you work as... what is your understanding and what is your role with regard to Mr. Leopold?
He serves in my units. He has a very specialized skill set in ranged combat and defensive tactics. He has joined the unit around the time that I did. The previous commander had fallen, and they had assigned me command, and we have been together for our entirety in the military.
Do you believe Zeke is an asset to your team?
Certainly.
And you have seen Zeke firsthand eliminate threats that would have help eliminate threats that would have caused great danger to this country. Is that true?
As you know, I cannot confide exact details in public, but yes, he has helped dispatch threats that everyone in this courtroom would probably be dead if not for him. Eventually.
Do you believe he is do you believe that he is an essential part of your team?
I think everyone in this team plays a very important part. Could we potentially survive if one of us went down? I don't know. I think so, but I'd rather not ponder on that. That seems to be a pure downgrade.
Do you believe that the world is better off without the Grand Inquisitor?
Yes.
No further questions. The prosecutor steps up. Mr. Ironhand, leader of this well put together group. Are you well today?
I am.
Do you believe that Zeke made the right decision when he killed the Grand Inquisitor? Not the same question as what your commander had asked you.
Truthfully, I think yes.
Please tell me, why do you think that? What has changed your mind to think that?
A week sitting in a room pondering my past has made me realize many things about myself, and this unit isn't the exact unit that's set out. We are down one, a dear friend, and another who, through some very extreme means, is still with us. But we're down those people for one reason and one reason alone. Because I was afraid to kill people.
And you believe now that your interest in the information that could have been garnered to properly protect you in this case, that the information that could have been used to potentially save countless others was well worth forfeiting because this man was a great enough threat?
It is hard to say how much honest information we could have gotten from this man. He clearly lived a very secretive life, a life he kept secret from this entire organization. I would have to imagine the city of Chrysaisen could not possibly know that their Grand Inquisitor was taking the control of men's minds and using those controlled minds to murder innocent civilians. That would be outrageous if that is what the city actually knew about him. So I'm just going to assume that was not the case.
So, Mr. Ironhand, you believe that as a leader, you failed to properly respond to the circumstances at hand that day?
Not that day. In the past, I have failed to kill people when it was necessary. I don't know, in this case, if that was another instance. We did have him incapacitated, but given his ability to influence minds, if we slipped up even for the moment in his control, if he somehow was able to conjure his spells from prison and escape, he would, to no doubt, go to extreme lengths to get revenge. He was a very powerful necromancer. He was extremely dangerous. In my mind, I think I would have had him tried in the system. But at this point, we can't know what would have been the correct decision.
Very well. No further questions. You are allowed to take your seat.
I'll take my seat.
They are each given the ability to offer closing statements. The prosecutor stands. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, this is quite the mockery of justice that we have here. We are allowing the military to determine who rightfully lives and who rightfully dies. We are allowing the military to invade our city, be arrested under lawful premises, and to kill someone in cold blood. And you have heard testimony that one of their own believes that the action was not the right choice, but that their leader believes that the cold-blooded murder of a man without right to trial was the right thing to do. The cold-blooded murder of a man who is both messed up in the head and completely sane. Are these really the people that you want defending your country? Defending even your city? Do you want a man who would believe that what you're doing is wrong to murder you without giving an option for anyone else to make that decision? A man who you believed was your own, someone you could trust. What if it was your coworker or your family? Do you believe that they should be able to skip trial because, well, they believed you were bad, without evidence, without anyone there to defend themselves? If we allow a murderer to get away because we don't have the testimony of the deceased, then I suggest everybody buy much better locks for your home, because this city's about to become a lot more dangerous. The prosecutor takes a seat. Tonelli rises. Ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of things that you don't know exist. A lot of things out there that you don't want to know exist. I have seen many of these things. These people have seen many of these things. Creatures and people so powerful that you would not know what they could do, and by the time you did know, you would already cease to exist. These are the threats that we exist to protect you from. And in the course of battle, in the heat of battle, people have to make snap decisions. And in that moment, you've heard the story of 3 people, each of which sees the situation differently. one of which changed his mind in rethinking the circumstances. Now, the prosecution would like you to believe that this is because they are wishy-washy, that they are not devoted, and they are not of sound mind. But I argue on the contrary. These people are led by a man who makes decisions that are best for the people that he cares about, the people of this country. His team consists of people who are concerned for the lives of others and for the quest for greater knowledge. They will not inherently determine that his actions were right, but they themselves have something to lose if this person is not kept alive. But if you're a person hunted for years by somebody, chased time and time again, and when you finally get away, it comes back once more, and then one day you're confronted by your torturer. I don't think any amount of sound mind will protect you. I don't think that any amount of devotion will protect you. And I don't think any search for greater knowledge will protect you. We are not here denying that Mr. Leopold did end the life of the Grand Inquisitor. But what we are arguing is that by not ending the life of the Grand Inquisitor, he stopped the opportunity for something to do much worse. Thank you for your time. All right. Everyone is dismissed for a short while. Zeke, you are taken back to the dungeons. And for the first time, the other 5 of you have some time together. Is there anything you want to discuss?
I respect the law. I don't like being involved with it. Jeez.
Same.
I knew there was a reason I left this place.
I want one good, pleasant experience with this place. Speaking of which, what happened to Borya? Why wouldn't they have called him as a character witness against the mage?
Sounded like they had all they wanted from Ra.
Yeah, who were these other witnesses that they had that they just suddenly decided weren't relevant?
No idea.
Tonelli comes out to you, Maldronicus. I don't know how to tell you this. I wanted to make sure trial happened first. I was told you were the last to see him, and when I went to speak to him, I was informed that he was killed. They found him in his home. All of his possessions were gone, and his partner was nowhere to be found.
The Inquisitors were there with me. They left immediately with him. How could he be back in his house?
You're certain of it?
Fucking knew I couldn't trust him, and I kind of like slammed the wall. And I don't even want the ruling on Zeke's trial. I just like go out of the courthouse.
Yep.
I'm going to Borya's house if I can.
Okay. You head over there. When you arrive, the house is the building is no longer like, under... Or, I'm sorry, actually at this point it still would be. There are still members of the guard roaming about the area. And there is one person who is dressed in very long flowing robes that is walking about the scene. And as he sees you approach, he stops and walks over to you.
Does this guy have the Inquisitor robes on?
He has a pair of gray-colored Inquisitor robes on.
You gave me your word.
I don't know what you're talking about. I gave you no word. Perhaps you're thinking of someone else.
The Inquisitors gave me their word that he would immediately be escorted into custody. I offered to keep him safe. I offered to protect him, and they were said that they would keep him safe. Apparently, that isn't true.
Can I speak with you for a few moments in private?
I suppose so. I follow him to somewhere to the side. Not too secretive, because I'm very paranoid of these guys right now.
You are the only person I'm authorized to share this information with. Do you understand me?
Yes.
Your friend is alive. Your friend is not here. Your friend cannot stay here. We are in the process of performing an investigation of our own. Literally, of our own. It was important that we get him out of here as quickly as we could. He looks at his hand periodically, a ring on it, as he speaks to you. Know that your friend is safe, but know that you will...
I trusted you! I just scream really loudly and sort of just... The last time I trust the Inquisitors! And I just make like a really loud scene of it and sort of walk away.
Okay.
Actually, let's see how good this performance is. I actually have a line helping. Ooh.
All right, very good.
Thanks, Grand Inquisitors. Circlet. But I would go back to the courthouse, and if I can still make it in time for the verdict.
You will. So you get back. Eventually, you're all allowed back in as the verdict is determined. Ladies and gentlemen, a great disservice to our fine city has been done here. A man has died, and a man stands trial. A man who may or may not have done horrible things. That being said, we believe that it is important that no bad deed goes unpunished. But we recognize the actions that led to this situation. As such, we have decided that in the ruling of Zeke Leopold, we find the defendant guilty of murder. However, we do not find the defendant guilty of murder with intent. Well, Mr. Leopold, we are sentencing you to 2 months of corrective aid. You will be placed in the care of somebody who will hopefully offer to you the help you need and that you will hopefully accept. If you choose to refuse that, then we will have no choice but to make further rulings on this case. Additionally, we would like to make sure that this sentence is not carried out here in our city. Mr. Leopold, you will be transported with the military back to the camp, where you will serve your time with them. 2 months of corrective training. At which point, our emissaries will let us know whether or not things are the way that they should be, and we will let you know whether or not further action will occur. Is that understood, Mr. Leopold?
Yes.
You are dismissed. And Zeke, you are several members of the military come up and take you off. You will be rapidly escorted back to the camp. Whereas the 5 of you will finish up and find yourself back in Krzyzyn.
Is that a win or a loss? Or like the most in-betweens of in-betweens of in-betweens?
Tonelli comes back to you. I don't know anymore. I personally hate this city. I hate everything.
I think we
about
all
it.
do. You said something earlier, Tonelli, and it stands out to me, and everything about this place just gets worse and worse. I think we all need a breath of fresh air. A really, really fresh breath of air.
Well, you'll have it. We have things that we want you to do to the west. I will be sending the 6 of you, I will be sending you the 5 of you and your prisoner to Catharos. Catharos is the capital of the Alliance to the west. You are going to go there, and you are going to discuss with them options for a treaty.
Are they enemies?
We are at odds with each other. I need you to understand that we expect that they will not accept the terms of this treaty or any other treaty that we bring to them. Walk with me. All of you walk with me.
I follow.
And he leads you out of the building. And as he talks to you, he proceeds to cast a few spells. We are very specifically sending you there for a alternative purpose. There, in Catharos, is someone there that it is important that you meet. He is currently working in the caves to the north on uncovering something that could change everything for the Alliance over there. It is important that you go with him and discover what it is before they actually gain knowledge of such a thing. He is allied to our cause, and he will work with us directly. We're sending you, though, because we believe that others are on to the fact that he may have discovered something. He has put himself in a very protective area and warded off his findings for now. But he is short on time. He believes if he takes anyone down there to show them, the Alliance will send people down there to seize what they believe to be theirs. What he owns there is his property. Whatever he finds there is his to hold. Go there, and if need be, defend his claim. But know that in doing so, if things go bad, this could change everything for the whole country. But I assure you that while many say those of the Alliance are interested in bringing us all together, they're not interested in bringing us together for benefit of us. If you gather enough people together, you connect them all together, you only need one cord to pull them all along. If what he's found is what he says, this will be that cord.
Very well. Does anyone have any apprehensions about this, men and women?
I mean, I'd like to know who we're talking about.
I'm sure the details will be given to us when we are away from a city that I don't think any of us want to talk too many details about.
That's fair.
Are we to leave immediately? I have
Yes.
matters I'd like to close off before we leave this side of the world.
Oh, suspicious things you have to take care of. Surprise, surprise.
Some of us have homes in the certain cities, Cassius.
There's time for you to take care of whatever you need to take care of. We have arranged for teleport to get you to just outside of Catheros.
Can we go back to the military camp first? We have a number of things still there.
Sure.
We basically left without our possessions. And I don't even think I was able to deliver the full report on what happened.
That can be arranged for you as well.
Good.
Alright, does anybody have anything in Chrysizen they want to finish up?
Yeah. I'm going to talk to Erebos.
Okay.
Oh, I do have one thing I wanted to do real quick, but I don't need to necessarily roleplay it. I'm gonna go check and make sure that what Pierre said was true, and make sure that everything was taken care of.
Yes.
Okay. I'll spend some time with her, and then, I'll let them know where I'm at once they need me.
Yep.
I would sort of like to start walking with Erebos. So where are we headed today, Erebos?
What do you mean?
Is there perhaps a visit to your parents along the lines here?
Do you really want to go back there?
I think it is the only way to resolve our dilemma. And I think, as much as you probably don't want to go there, given the very annoying information that I have been delivered by court officials, I'm finding myself in need to trust you again. I don't care about whatever other petty things you do, but you do not lie to the faces of other party members. Is that clear?
Yes.
So answer me this. Are you still informing on us, or is it done? Are you done with Heracles, and are you doing your own thing? Tell me here straight to my face. And I swear if I find out that you lied to me again, there will be more extreme consequences.
There is no written agreement between us. My apprenticeship is over, but I have the working relationship with the man. He hasn't requested any information on anyone any further.
Well, if he does, you come to me and you tell me. You tell me exactly what it is that he is telling us about our party. This is very important. We are about to go on a mission that sounds like a very much delicate detail. I can't be having every action we're doing be relayed to a man that probably no longer trusts us and probably wants one of us very much dead.
This is probably true, but I assure you my role in that was probably formality at most. He's far more powerful than... If he really wanted to know something, he could probably know it.
This is true, but it still doesn't stop the issue that every single person in this party you lied to.
Well, I mean, Heracles told you I was informing of the party's actions.
Heracles told you you were scouting out information for him. He never told us that you were taking our secrets and delivering our personal secrets to him.
I thought it was fairly conveyed, but I can see how he probably minced words.
He does that. As your parents did to me. But that, I hope we can resolve.
Did you sign with my mother or my father?
Your mother. The crazy batshit one. Kind of attractive, but whatever. I actually have no idea what your mom looks like, so, but yes, that one.
She probably looks just like me.
That explains so much.
Okay, we're going.
All right, the two of you arrive there. When you arrive, Johann is there once again. Master Arvos, and this gentleman.
Yes, Johann, arrange a meeting with my mother. We must discuss some things immediately.
Yes, quite. Yes. Did she know you were coming?
No, but I'm sure she'll be glad to see me again.
And is he meeting with her as well?
Yes.
I kind of smile as pleasantly as I can. It probably looks terrifying.
Johann, if you can get a lesser servant to deliver the news, perhaps it won't be your fault for this disruption.
He does so. He has somebody else deliver the message, and she does not allow you in. She and 5 guards will come out to the gate and stand on the other side of the gate. I'm surprised to see you both here, but I'm glad to see you, son.
Is this not, we can't talk in more private quarters?
I don't trust that one.
I mean, you should.
Johann should have called the guard immediately. You must be paying him quite well. Isn't that what you did before? Anytime you needed anything? Dear Johann got a bonus.
Johann is not aware. He's simple-minded. He doesn't know the gravity of the situations.
That's what you always say. Like mother, like son.
I don't know if you want to speak of these matters in front of your guard.
We will speak here, now, as it should be.
This man is contracted to... You have him contracted. You should not be able to... We should be able to have a conversation in private.
This is private.
We're like in like the driveway area, right?
Yes.
Or whatever. Like, well, it seems like this is where it has to be then. I'll look to Maldronicus.
What we ventured out to do is handled.
Good. So
Was dangerous.
So Arvos is here to stay then. You're releasing him, and he can join with us at our home. Thank you so much for bringing him back to me. Guards, please take him.
I'm releasing him from my contract. I do not have dictation to release him from the military.
Ah, I see. She stops the guards.
For that, he has to fulfill his conscription.
Ah, yes, we can make sure his conscription is fulfilled.
Hmm.
Arvos, do you want to come home now?
What?
You're-
I'm so confused.
Your needs are fulfilled. You have done a great deed, and now you can come home and celebrate.
Unfortunately, Mother, nothing has changed of when I originally left. I have much to do that far exceeds the confines of this place.
Now, there you go again, with those delusions of grandeur. You are already great, Aravos. You are here. You could be one of us again. And you would be great again. Why do you insist continually on just trying to outdo your father?
I have no aspirations to outdo Father in legal magics or scroll scribing. My aspirations far exceed that.
My dear son, you must understand. I cannot lose you again. Please, just come home. Stay here. With us. There's so much for you here.
It's not possible. What I need is not here. Although I will visit.
Until you're dead.
That is far beyond what I plan on happening.
Your son is a very gifted wizard, madam. He can look out for himself. I can keep watching his back as I have, but I cannot continue to do that under these terms that you have imposed on the both of us. You tricked me. It's plain and simple. If you want me to keep
did
action,
nothing of the sort.
you're trying to.
You
No, go ahead.
You made it clear that you agreed to protect him at all costs. I made sure that would be done. He would be protected, even at the cost of your own life.
Yes, but I would prefer to do that in my own manner. This is even this level of clearly a misinterpretation of someone's words.
Oh, please. I'm supposed to trust the man who travels around with people that just go around murdering people against
Yes.
their own wishes.
That's what happens to people that mess with my group.
You try to stop them from murdering somebody, fail to because you're too weak, and then they murder the person anyway?
These details were just said in a courtroom. How do you know any of this already?
You act as though I did not have people there watching.
Just constantly surprises me, Mother.
I need to know things about what happened to my son and the company he keeps.
Well, if you are there, then you would certainly realize that a lot of attention has been drawn now to the the Grand Inquisitor, and the connections he may have had. Contracts that seemed to not to be remembered being signed. They just have the slightest markings of...
This is why it's important that my sons stay. You
No.
see, it will get uncovered, but my husband isn't the sole benefactor of the business.
Well, let's put it this way. If things go badly, which I think they will, then you probably don't want that sole benefactor to be in the city.
I said isn't. Listen to me, Maldronicus. If my son stays, this can all be his. He
You
just
assume-
needs to re-sign this. And she pulls a piece of paper out of her pocket. This would make him family again. And as family, he's entitled to whatever's left when the top falls off. He could take the top. And all that comes with it.
Ah, yes. A legacy given to somebody. Exactly the legacy I'm sure your son wants.
You, you or father, or perhaps both of you, I don't even know anymore, stripped the salamander name from me already.
And it just takes a single signature to fix that.
Such a name, so easily given and taken, I don't think it's worth attaching myself to it.
But son, it's everything you say you wanted. Everything. You get to get father. You get to get everything father had. You get to be better than him.
I don't think you... This is why I left in the first place. You never listen. What I have planned will dwarf anything father had ever planned. You will come to me begging for my name when this is over. And perhaps if you extinguish this contract with Maldronicus, that will be possible. And we can maintain this relationship. But after you revealed to me that I was somehow resurrected, you acted all loopy when I first met you, this is all manipulative.
You cut out after you said this is all manipulative.
And then, sorry, this is all manipulative, and I'm finally going to take control of my life.
Very well then, Arvos, very well. Can you blame me? My son runs away, says very little about why, throws aside everything we've done for you. And for what? To now be forced into servitude to the military?
It's a means to an ends. They're assisting me, and I'm assisting them.
Oh, Arvos. I will miss you when you're dead. Mr. Maldronicus,
Yes.
please hand me the contract.
I produce it instantly. It's just
One of the guards will take it, bring it back to her, and she will twist it. The contract shatters like bits of glass to the ground. It is done. The deal is completed.
It's for the best. For the both of us, I think, at this point.
Maldronicus, know this. If you or any of your party are responsible directly or indirectly for the death of my boy, I will take every ounce of power that my husband has and use it to end all of you. Is that understood?
Mother, don't be. Now you're starting to act insane again. You would trust.
My boy is going to leave me, and I may never get to see him again. If they take you from me, I will hold them accountable.
They're military members. If you were to harm them, I don't think.
If I were to harm them, I would harm them all if I have to.
I think you outreach. Even Father's influence doesn't reach farther than the storm giants.
You'd be surprised what enough money can do. Do hurry back, son. I look forward to seeing you soon. And she just turns and walks away.
I'm not even sure what the hell's happening anymore.
Have a good day, madam. And don't threaten my party ever again.
She chuckles, but does seem to change her step just for a moment as she's heading towards the door.
Well, that went well, Erebos, as well as things with your parents seem to go, from my experience.
Oh, this went swimmingly.
This was like 10 times better than the first time I met them.
I was expecting you to be executed on the spot.
Oh, yeah. Well, they won't do that, you know. As long as I was a backup resurrection stone for you, I don't think they would have dispatched me. But speaking of which, we should probably get running, because now that that's gone, my leverage is gone too.
Also, I'm not sure how my stay last year was noticed, but hopefully the military can help us leave unencumbered this time. We should leave with the envoy.
Well, out of character, what are you referring to?
Last time we were here, the crime syndicate family wanted to have me murdered, or...
Oh, yeah, I mean, we're getting teleported out, so there can't really be anyone that tells us, so... if you're concerned, I can stay with you, but if you want to do your errands privately, that's fine. For the time being, you have earned my trust.
Yeah, I was getting at one last conversation with the Rackless before we left, and depositing my mithril, and reconvening with the Raven about my orphanages, those kind of things before I left the country.
All right. Well, then you guys. Well, okay. So you're not looking to leave Krzyzin yet?
Well, I'm ready to leave Krzyzin.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you will all get teleported back to the camp.
He's got all of his evil things to take care of.
Opening orphanages is a very good act.
Once you get there, Zeke is released into your custody, Maldronicus.
So, does he have like a teacher with him, or like,
you are released into his custody.
I don't understand. I thought you were going to have therapy or a mentor teach you, Zeke.
Was I given any details?
Nope. You're just given back to the party.
Well, I guess I'm being scryed on in some way again.
It's after a few moments that Tonelli kind of walks away as Zeke rejoins the group, and then Tonelli comes back with something. And he looks over to Maldronicus and then to Zeke. And he hands the object to Zeke.
This isn't another one of those stones, is it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Zeke, this is a sec here. I need to double check something about your sheet because they would have picked one based on what you currently have. These are items that will go on your wrist. They will explain. These items are attuned to Maldronicus specifically. If Maldronicus issues you a command, it will compel you to follow that command.
It's a bracelet, or?
It is a bracelet.
Does it have a name?
They are. I don't have quite a name for these yet. But just for now, put bracers of
command?
Yes.
Wait, bracers or bracelets?
They are bracers.
Okay.
And here I thought I was going to be assigned to be his teacher of moral and ethics.
No one would teach you to be no one would assign you to be a teacher of anything regarding morals or ethics. Do you have anything else you want to tell Heracles?
Oh, thank God.
Yes.
Somebody said it. That wasn't me.
Oh, well, that's too bad.
What?
You are, by my order, no longer allowed to enter in to the city of Kazarim. Is that understood?
My house. My house is there. Am I being compensated for this?
You don't have a house. We own a house. You are ours. Is that understood?
Are you implying we are all in servitude to you?
I am implying that you made it a decision to sell yourself into our service. And that when you sell yourself into our service, what you have is ours. Not just yours, ours.
Understood.
Good. If I hear word of you in Kazarim ever again, I will declare you a deserter, and I will have you hunted. And that, I think you should consider, is me being very polite for what I believe you are directly responsible for. They didn't find those books by accident, did they, Aravos?
No, they were being studied by an advanced wizard. As we would have expected. If I was smart, if I was not smart, if I was more experienced myself, I would have done the task myself.
And you don't think the first place they would have gone was to the most powerful diviner in the entire country?
What are you getting at?
Oh my God, Aravos, you are a fool at times. Or at least you try to pretend to be one.
Tank isn't. Tank isn't. I believe what Tonelli is implying is that you brought evidence of what's happened to the one place the authorities were most likely to go. Potentially, if you hadn't taken that action, you wouldn't have been in this situation in the first place.
I believe Heracles operates above any magics they could detect. If he wanted to, he could have hid that. I'm sure he had his reasons.
Yes, he must have had his reasons, didn't he? And none of us could ever know what his reasons are. Now, could we, Aravos? Could we?
Well, unfortunately, I believe at the time of this, I was under his employ, and he was in contract with you, so I was beholden to his tasks. So maybe you should take it up with Heracles, why he wanted this. I was not conscripted at this time, I believe. Would you have me betray my first conscriptor? Now I'm conscripted to you, so obviously I will not betray you in this manner, obviously.
Heracles turns to Maldronicus.
Heracles, he's here?
I'm sorry, Aravos.
That would have been terrifying!
Aravos turns... Yeah. Oh my God, I've got all the names wrong. Tonelli then turns to Maldronicus. You learn to get this one in line. I cannot take this one anymore. I thought Arius was bad. This one finds every loophole he can to get out of something, even when he knows he's directly responsible for the problem.
Well, this is not... Well...
The man over there will send you to Catheros. I am done with you. Make sure you do things responsibly. And if they are not done responsibly, I will personally see to it that you are marshaled and you are ended of your conscription. And I don't want to see you dead. I want to see you in the labyrinth. Good day!
Good day. When he's out of earshot, he's just correcting some facts. I'm not sure what doesn't like being caught in the wrong, I guess, huh?
All things said, still a pretty good day, considering our days as of late. I would want to look into. So is Pierre coming?
Pierre can be brought along if you'd like, but they cannot bring along the cart. They do not have enough to take Pierre and the cart, and the horses, and...
So no more carts, but Pierre could come along as still like someone just to watch our stuff and things, potentially.
Yes.
I think I'd want to take Pierre. I've kind of like put him in danger, and I'm still always paranoid that something's going to happen to him, especially with Erebos' mother making threats to us. I don't think I'd want to leave Pierre alone, so I think I'd want to take him with us, actually.
Okay.
Is that something he wants?
Yeah, we can talk to him about it. But
Yeah, I'm just not sure because of the horses.
oh, that's true.
Yeah, that is a interesting conundrum. Let me check something real quick.
He just can't be teleported, right, with us to the thing. Well, I guess he wouldn't be able to be teleported to the other place.
It's insanely dangerous for Pierre to travel alone over the mountains.
Yeah, I realized that he wouldn't be able to get teleported to the other place with us then either as I was saying it and realized how wrong I was.
If anyone didn't have any specific things, I did want to talk to Maldronicus alone eventually.
Okay. So was I given back all my gear?
Yes, you are given back all of your gear.
All right, and did Reckless take back any of the gear he gave me?
Yes, you will have lost the gear that Heracles gave you.
Okay, so that was the shoes of lightning leaping and the gloves of contingent attack, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The for the rings.
Definitely no confirmation of anything whatsoever there, right, Zeke?
I think there's a number of people that don't have rings or amulets. Would we be able to take the rings and amulets that, if they're an upgrade for anyone, from the Pretty Boys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Does everyone have amulet of natural armors +2 and rings of protections +2?
No.
So Erebos, you can have a set. We have 4 of them.
Yep.
4 sets. I believe Ra already has those. Zeke, do you already have an amulet and a ring?
Oh, sorry, I was muted. I have an amulet, but I do not have a +2 ring. I only have a +1 ring.
Oh, right, because of your Shield of the Faithful.
I have a +1 for both of those.
And Sphinx, do you have anything?
I don't have either, but I have both ring slots filled.
Oh, you have both filled. Okay. So, so Erebos gets 1 and 1. So Erebos take an amulet and a ring.
Okay.
Zeke, you have natural armor from Raging, right?
Yeah, so I don't need the amulet.
And do you have a ring of protection +2 already?
Yes.
Okay. So, and then Ra, upgrade your ring of protection to a +2. And just remember that doesn't stack with his shield. It's probably just Shield of the Faithful. It's just probably not becoming useful anymore. But, and Sphinx, do you have an amulet already?
No.
Okay, so add an amulet of natural armor +2. Cassius, what do you use?
+1 for each of those.
+1 for each of those. So you take those, and then I'll take the last set.
Yeah, I'll make sure that. I'll have Rob check on them and make sure that they're fine to touch after.
Sure.
Before I put them on, because these are those disgusting dead guys. I don't want them.
Disgusting. They're beautiful. I'm not Arius. I don't care about them.
I'll return my old ones to the military stores for the next recruits that might need them.
The +1 ring was Arvos's.
Yeah, so I was gonna say that I would give well, everyone knows you're evil anyway, so I guess I should be giving this back to you by now.
Yes, I should have asked for it earlier. It was the most useless trade of all time.
Don't you want to make him earn it? Shouldn't he steal it from you or something?
I mean, I didn't tell anyone. It's not my fault that you're kind of blatant with your intentions.
Me or
No, that was in response to Arvis being like, should have asked for it back earlier. Worst trade or whatever ever. Not my fault people found out your alignment.
But if Erebos is calling me aside, I would come to the side with Erebos.
In what manner did you conscript with this army? Did you sign a conscription like I did?
Essentially, yes. I came as a representative of the Crimson Council.
Did you hear what Tonelli just said? Is this the same case with you? Everything you own is theirs? We're essentially slaves to them. I thought we talked about this.
I mean, I didn't own anything when I came here. I came here as a man with basically nothing. So I guess it's different between you and I in that you had things.
It's not the point. Everything you will have that you want to have as yours is not yours.
No, that is not the way the law works. What you kill, you take. You are entitled to your things. I believe what Tonelli was saying is that your past life, there can't be a difference between your past life and your present life. You can't just give up on military duties to go back to your house. Your duties are to the country and to the military now. And to imply that your house is your own separate duty that the military has no oversight on implies that you do not realize the worth that you have in this duty you are fulfilling.
Well, under that logic, if I were to buy a new house now, you just said it would be mine, but it would be the same issue.
He said it would be yours, but understand again that until our oaths are fulfilled, it's not really yours because to leave your service would be to give up your oath and to betray what is service to this country. It's not like the military is literally just seizing your assets. Tonelli is just telling you to stop. I think in your sort of in the same way that I was concerned with the details that were revealed about your dealings with Arrakis, Tonelli, likewise. When you talk about these things, it makes people paranoid for the same reason that Cassius probably is paranoid of you all the time. You constantly talk about doing other things. It's really hard to get a read on you sometimes, Erebos.
Well, I mean,
you always seem to have an agenda.
Is it all you think of is what the military order you? This task we have, is this your only life goal now? You have no goals of restoring the orcs and the Crimson Council? Is that all left you now?
Well, I hope if I do enough for them, they will give the orcs what they want. They previously did not want a full relationship with the orcs, but a lot of my successes allowed them to consider bringing Ra into our service. And I believe if we continue to do good things, that relationship can grow. So I guess, yes, you may think that I'm focused too much on one outcome, but that outcome, in fact, is directly related to what I truly want.
Sorry, go ahead.
That is where you and I differ. My desires align exactly with the military, whereas yours desires do not in ways. And I can understand the frustration that causes you, but again, also understand at some point, if we do enough for the military, there can be no denying that we have earned a level of freedom and say over the manners of this world. Just imagine what happens if we succeed at this task we've been given, Erebos. What if we unite these nations or stop uniting them, these nations? That's the type of things that makes legends, Erebos. Not inheriting things from daddy.
You were there. I rejected that.
I know. I'm just drawing the comparison.
I just want to remind you of the promise you made me that day. And should those conditions arise, I expect your support.
As you saw, I have talked with Cassius. I will continue to work with them. We will continue getting to the bottom of this. But you need to do your part too. Cassius is very deductive, and if you've been lying to us this entire time, I now know why he was failing to trust you this whole time. He probably
lying about what?
that you were delivering our secrets to Heracles.
We all knew I was telling Heracles.
Well, I sure as hell didn't. Admittedly, my sense motive has improved substantially as of late, but...
I think you must have missed it. I'm pretty sure Heracles directly told you that I was informing him of the ongoings of the party. Perhaps he wasn't specific about this, the depth of knowledge he wanted, but...
Heracles is intentionally manipulative about everything. You know that. But
I disagree. I think he's been fairly straightforward, at least in my dealings with him. In fact, he hates beating around the bush. He wants to get to directly to the point most of the time.
Yeah, that's true, but yet in some way I feel like I've been manipulated somehow.
Perhaps positively. I credit our victory in the cost reached mostly to him. A lot of our items were from him. I got the idea of the name Bullet. I mean, albeit it didn't help that much, but he inspired that.
I don't deny that he helped us. I just... Again, he's a dangerous man as an enemy, and it just would go a long way to build trust if you probably explained your full thought process to Cassius. Because I will watch your back the best of my ability, and my word will stand true. But you have to take your parts to build these bridges. I am not the only one, I'm sure, that the Inquisitors share this detail with.
Well, Cassius has been a pain in my butt. Perhaps I'll try to explain it to him, and if he's reasonable, he'll come to terms with it.
Very good.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
That's it.
So,
Steve, did you figure out an answer to the Pierre question?
Pierre does not wish to go.
Okay.
Pierre, if he cannot take the horses, if he cannot take the carriage, he does not wish to travel with you. What he does say, however, is that with what he has now, he will find a way to be able to better travel with you in the future.
Okay. And he can keep my escape fund in case he needs it. Plus he has the emeralds too. Or the sapphires.
Sapphires, yep. That's what he's talking about when he says with what you've given him.
Okay. I also gave him 500 gold too at one point.
Okay.
It's probably nothing compared to the sapphires, I guess, at this point, but...
All right.
So before we travel, I wanted to talk to the party also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you guys probably have some questions about what happened at the trial. I mean, I'm willing to answer anything. Any of your suspicions or anything like that.
We all heard the testimonies. We were all there.
Nobody has any questions about anything, though? Like, from the list? You saw the writings?
Didn't believe you ever had intentions to harm me. I don't really care if my name was on that list.
I'm almost offended I'm not on your list. Am I not as powerful as Ra and Erebos?
I'm mostly offended you misspelled my name.
So Madronicus, you and Sphinx, were ruled out of being this man I was looking for.
You don't think I'm capable of vast evil?
No, I tried to convince us. I had seen enough. As far as Ricotta, I questioned you when you first arrived and quickly found out that you were most likely not the person I was looking for, so I stopped looking into you.
Definitely wouldn't do evil things if I'm constantly putting protection from evil on people.
That is true, Zeke. It is hard to tell the gender of many orcs and half-orcs. I could see how
wow.
you think.
Yeah, but I had quickly ruled you out, and thus almost nothing was written.
Are you sure they put the braces on the right person? Well, I guess calling you a person is probably, above you. So
I will have to say the ricotta and Shaw shit probably made me laugh harder than anything has in a while.
Yeah, that was a little deliberate with how capitalized it was. But
well, the 8 is the true god, so yes.
Oh.
All right. Speaking of the 8, you are divided into 3 groups to teleport. Tom, would you like to increase or decrease the chances that you arrive where you're intending to go?
Increase.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Actually, I'll make both rolls in the chat.
Uh-oh.
I would just ask you, Zeke, as Steve's doing that. Do you regret it? Would you change it, all things considered, or would you go back and do the same thing?
Yes, I mean, this was another great evil that we've rid the world of, like this other thing that had caused the purple. I mean, I would have loved to have killed him. And
Yes,
I agree with you on that.
exact same similar type of evil. I mean, but of course, yeah, I have no idea if keeping him alive would have been better. I just don't know, obviously. But I rid the world of a great evil. Yes.
And with that,
Very well.
you all arrive at the gates of Cominster. And that is where we will end
Catherine,
tonight.
right?
I'm sorry, Katheros. And that,
Cominster,
We can't go here.
We could go to Cominster. I don't
And
know.
Zeke
why I
runs
can't
in
go-
and murders the dwarf. He runs and rages and dead.
and that is where we will end for tonight. Everybody go ahead and take 1,000 XP. And yeah. Good session, everyone. Thanks, everybody, for watching. And we'll see you on Sunday, hopefully, for Mirashad. Good night, everyone.